All right, a very common question we get is how do we use dual port or even 3-port sensor nodes in your Sugarbush to monitor multiple main lines all with one physical node? So what we have here in this Sugarbush, about 80, maybe 90 feet away, we have a main line this direction. And then we have another main line a little closer, maybe 60, 70 feet in this direction. We ran a dedicated dry 5/16. What I mean by that is a dedicated saddle at the very end of that main line. No taps, it's a dry 5/16 line on this line. We end it just like any other lateral line, end the line hook and a dead end T. And then this pseudo drop line will go up into our vacuum sensor. Very similar setup on this main line here. And notice the sensor node itself has 2 ports on the bottom, whether it's a generation 1 or a universal node. The universal node will have vacuum sensors that plug in, but both will have 2 or 3 different ports on the bottom. And these are not connected together. We get individual readings from each one. When I mount the nodes in the woods, I'll mount them as high as practical. You don't want to put them down here at lower height. I put them up just as high as I can reach. I put the solar panel facing south so that then this stays charged throughout the season. And oftentimes, if we're taking the nodes down in the off season, we'll just use a straight connector to get those connected up again every season. So notice in the app, what we want to do is now name our main lines. So I can go to this specific sensor node. If I hit settings on this node, if I scroll down, I can name vacuum port 1. I can give that specific port a name here, and vacuum port 2 a name here. For us, we call it mainline 2A and 2B because they do Y together up here before they go into the releaser. Once those ports are named, back at sites, notice we get individual readings for every single main line here. Here's 2A, and then that same device, but the second port is 2B. Another easy way to get to that settings page, what I often do is I pull up the camera. I'll come to the QR code. I'll simply scan that device. It'll pop me right to that same device settings page, and I can confirm that things are labeled correctly. And anytime I'm setting nodes out in the woods, I typically will turn them off and back on just to make sure it's all communicating properly. I want to make sure my hub is online first, and then I'll come here. I'll turn the device on. And what we're looking for is that single flash and then 2 flashes. For the when it's talking to hubs, it'll be that light sequence. I'll do that one more time. So 1 flash, 2 flashes means it's communicating properly with the hub. Overall, hopefully that was helpful for you on how to set up your 2-port sensor node in the woods. If this is a 3-port node, very similar process. You typically would just install the node at the middle main line. The main line would anchor right here, and you hook up that main line in a very similar manner. Hopefully that was helpful for you. And as you get prepared for this upcoming season, reach out with any questions.